Good morning. It's me again. I'm here in the kitchen. Ready to start a new day. I've actually stopped taking the medication because it was specifically for swelling and the swelling is gone. Um, so I'm starting to feel a little better. The side effects from the medication was a little tough. It really messed up my stomach and it didn't cause the diarrhea that it specifically mentioned, but it was causing some other issues. Um, So I'm kind of glad to be off of it. I'm also not sleeping as much, which is good because I can't really afford to sleep 24/7 or be out of it all the time. Uh, it's gonna be a weird weekend because the landlord's supposed to come to pick up some papers, and I don't know what else he's gonna do. So we want to try to clean up the house, and of course I'm not really in a position to be doing much. So I'm hoping that everybody else can realize that that's their problem. But yeah, so far, yeah. So yeah, that's a thing. Um, uh, excuse me. But yeah, the swelling, like I said, has gone completely down. I can move my toes pretty good. I don't need the boot casts all as much as I did before, so I might be taking it off when I have time, probably after the landlord thing, because I gotta at least attempt to clean up, and I can't be walking around without the boot cast. I can stand, like when I get dressed, I can stand um without too much trouble, but if I try to walk or move, the ankle will hurt because the ankle joint it's not stable at this point, so we gotta work on getting that stable. And oh, did you get stuck? Oh, there we go. Sorry, the cat got stuck. I had to help her. They don't their claws. They're like. So my daughter's cats have figured out that Gigi doesn't know how to use his claws properly, so they're now getting their claws stuck in a bunch of stuff, which apparently they weren't doing before to get attention. Tell me pets aren't like having kids. Seriously. But yeah, my leg is healing up pretty nice. The swelling's gone, the bruise is lightening. The one in the joint isn't really purple anymore. It's still darker, but it's not really purple. And the one that went across my foot is kind of a lighter green. Um, the toes feel normal. Um, it just feels like it's starting to go back to normal. And if I could just get the ankle to stabilize, that'd be great. But I know that's probably going to be a while because if I fucked up the cartilage, I'm hoping I didn't. But I know that I have 6 to 8 weeks with this type of injury because I've injured myself like this before. Not that same ankle, but other parts of my body. They didn't quite heal well, but I mean, like all the way, but that's kind of me. My metabolic issues kind of mess with the healing process. They also make it hard to use some of the things that most people would want to use, since like crutches, for example. Somebody was mentioning crutches in a comment on another video. I don't actually need crutches because I have this thing where when I try to put the weight on the crutches, it rips the muscles off of my chest cavity. Yeah, that's fun. It's something to do with the metabolic disorder, and apparently that particular issue, I forget what they call it, is really common in American women, and they think that it has something to do with the American diet, which doesn't surprise me because America has allowed a lot of things into the food chain that other countries are banning, like GMOs and processed over processed foods. Like I said, other countries aren't allowing that stuff in their food chains. So it's also really common for an American, say like if I did go to Europe somehow, able to move to Europe, um, which I don't see ever happening, I would probably be sick for the first month or two Not because I'm allergic to anything, but because my body needs to adjust to eating real food. Because here in the States, it's kind of hard to even know if you're actually getting real food. But I do try to eat as good as I can. Um, I do get stuff from the produce section, and I'll try to get like frozen foods, stuff where you can see the vegetables, because if it actually still looks like a vegetable, then it's about as close to real as you can get in the States. Like homegrown gardens, I'd love to have a garden. I just don't have the money to set it up the way I'd want to, because with the health issues I have, I want to get like a raised bed so that I don't have to bend over and like be in this weird seated awkward position that's mostly for my back. And since the ER doctor does seem to think that the nerve damage in my back might have gotten worse, um he didn't think that it was like a new injury or anything. He just figured, my age and that I have all these health problems, and that nerve damage doesn't heal nicely anyway. So yeah, I do have to be careful about what position I'm getting myself into, because my body may not want to be able to, or may not actually be able to do that anymore. Jasper, knock it off. Ugh. He thinks the neighbor's cat's outside, so he's like freaking out. I don't know if she actually is or not. I haven't seen her yet this morning. Yesterday she was mousing, and that was quite the experience. She caught the mouse and she's playing with it, and it ran away, and she had to catch it again, and she's playing with it, and it ran away again. And yeah, Jasper was getting really excited about that. So yeah. Um yeah, so I'm trying to do things for my health, and which which we know why it's hard here. I mean, like, there's other countries where it's hard to be healthy, but it's different reasons. Like, there's some countries, like places in India and Africa, where it's hard to be healthy because it's food, or there's so many people that the resources don't stretch and stuff like that. So here in the States, the problem isn't that we don't have enough resources. We probably actually have more than we need. Um, and you can tell that by some people's attitudes. They're a bit spoiled. Um, but the problem is that because the American system has allowed um, so much stuff like preservatives and processing, and some of the chemical, like I said, some of the chemicals that allowed in the States are actually illegal in other countries. And so that makes it difficult to be able to truly stay healthy, because my body really needs to have a more natural diet, and the food chain doesn't have a lot of natural food, um, which would explain why I've been craving potatoes. I think I want baked potatoes, but I don't know if I have the stuff for baked potatoes. I was thinking that I might not have the space for baked potatoes, but I pretty much only really do butter and cheese, occasionally bacon bits. I don't want to get a whole package of bacon just to do a little bacon bit. But yeah, I'm still not capable of getting to the grocery store, but my daughter can. She works at the closest one now. I'm kind of glad she's working closer to home. She's got a much better schedule for what's going on with the rest of the house, and she's not out really late at night having to try to navigate through the homeless camp to get home. Um, that was really scaring me, that she'd have to walk through there, because a lot of those people, as I probably mentioned before, a lot of those people are drug addicts, and they are really scary, and they have mental problems, and but there's a reason most of those people are out there, and it's not that they're great people that fell on hard times. Though there probably are some now, because I have noticed that a few people are looking like they're about the same financial state as I am. Their clothes aren't dirty and old yet. They're out of style, but they're not dirty and old. Um, yeah. So yeah, but I'm also noticing that quite a few people are leaving the area, claiming that they're finding better jobs in other areas. But I think a couple of people are actually moving in with relatives, um, or going to a situation where they have more support. Um, because I don't know why a able-bodied person can't get a job when the reason I can't get a job is because no companies can afford to do part-time with restrictions because they don't have enough employees, so they need somebody to work full-time with no restrictions. And so I can't get a job because of that. Well, and also my health has taken a pretty drastic turn. It would be very difficult to work. I probably could do it, but it would be very difficult to work with cast unless I had a position where I could sit. Um, but yeah, I do have an appointment, or apparently doing it over the phone, with my Social Security attorney on the 20th. So hopefully, hopefully we can get a bunch of that stuff sorted. And I need to remember how to contact all these people that might have my records. And I know that my records from Bellingham should have been ported over to my new doctor, but I don't know if they actually did, because I'm still getting communications from my old doctor saying I've missed my fertility appointments that I don't fucking need. Yay, nice going, guys. Hey, now let's put a 49-year-old in a fertility program. A 49-year-old with known genetic conditions and kids with disabilities. I don't need any more kids, thanks. I mean, I love the ones I have, but I don't need any more. I mean, if I can have a fairly healthy girl, but I can't have a healthy boy apparently. So, plus I've had 3 kids, 3 live children out of 8 pregnancies. 3 of them made it to adulthood. They're still alive. They're still fairly healthy. The 2 boys have autism and apparently epilepsy, maybe some other stuff going on. And then my daughter has mild form of bipolar, so when she's not stressing herself out, she's actually a decent person. She only has the weird symptoms when she's stressing. She was stressing out around my birthday, which was driving me crazy. I had to be a little bit manipulative with her just to get her to do what she said she was going to do in the first place. I hate when that happens. I just hate when that happens. Because I don't like being like that. That's not who I am. So I'm just working on trying to get some income so that, like, next time that comes around, I don't have to depend on her. Try to make sure that I can afford to do a birthday party, or that I can make plans for my birthday or some other event, like Christmas for my birthday or Thanksgiving, because I know I can't depend on her, because when she starts stressing out, she can't focus and then she gets mean. Oh yeah, I saw that. I do have I have limited feeling in this right here on my right side. Apparently, I have not had a stroke. They think it's from brain damage, a head injury. I haven't had it my whole life. It's just showed up. I noticed it around the time. Hey, goofy cats. I noticed it around the same time I noticed that I was getting the facial myo drooping. So I don't know if that's related to the fibro or if it's related to a brain injury that I had a few years ago. But yeah, that's kind of, it's nothing to worry about. It's just my face. Like I said, my face does weird things. If I was in a horror movie, I'd just be like normal face me. You know, it's just I don't even have to have the special effects. My face just does weird things. That wasn't the best example, but you know, my face can like do some weird things on its own. Um, but I don't know that I'd want to be in a horror movie because I'm not really certain that I could do half the stuff they'd want me to do. Yeah, so that would be a thing, but these cats are so hyper. I wonder if the weather's gonna do something again. Um, they do that. Gigi was screaming again this morning. He heard my son-in-law get up for work, so he's like, "Time to get up, bitch." He does that and wants his food. He's so cute. So annoying, but he's so cute. They all are. Said cats are having pets is a lot like having little kids. So they're just, it's not the same level of stress. It's not as constant because very young children need a lot of attention. And when they get to around a year or two, the screaming for no goddamn reason starts. And they get frustrated. They're trying to do what they see you do, and they get frustrated and they start screaming and they can't get them to stop screaming. And sometimes they'll like whack their head on something because they're being irrational. But it's normal to be irrational when you're two, because they don't have the experience that's needed to know that they're being irrational. So that's what that's just what I'm saying. So if you can't handle somebody who's going to be screaming and throwing fits all the time, you probably shouldn't have kids. And animals can be as obnoxious. So you want to, if you do decide to get a pet, you want to be very careful of their temperament. And if you get one that's an abuse rescue, especially, you need to be able to handle what that animal is going to be expressing, because very much like a young child, they cannot tell you what the problem is. So you could be scaring them or making them nervous or freaking them out without intending. So that's something you need to be aware of. Um, so yeah, I don't know where my brain went, but yeah, foot's doing better. I need to get the ankle more secure, but hey, I'm getting there. Need to clean the house. I'll do that later. But yeah, I'm actually gonna make some attempts. I don't know if I'm gonna get real far, but I made an attempt in the corner over here earlier, and I actually got most of that off the ground. So, um, my lame ass attempts are better than no attempts, so that's something. So yeah, I'm doing better. I'm feeling better. I'm off the meds. I might be still a little spacey because the meds was messing with my head. They were making me feel really dizzy and tired. I'm spacing out and not remembering things. So I also noticed that I was having seizures a little bit more than normal, and just headaches and drowsiness. So it did mention raising my blood pressure, and don't think it did. I could be having some different side effects because my body doesn't metabolize medications like it's supposed to. So that could explain why I'm experiencing things that weren't mentioned. Like I was cold. Yeah, I shouldn't have been cold. But yeah, it's been like 100 plus here since I got hurt, so I shouldn't have been cold. Even with the ACs on, or the air conditioner on, I shouldn't be cold. So, yeah, that's a thing. Oh yeah, there's fires near here. We're still in a time frame where it feels like you're either underwater or you're on fire. And I think my area is on fire. Though not the whole area. It is, of course, it's not the whole area that's underwater either, but it's just like, there's something really interesting going on with the weather right now. I don't know if it's a natural climate change or if we're messing with stuff. We probably mucked it up because that's what we do. Um, yeah, I'm like tired, so I have to get on some stuff. I want to get some more stuff done so I can get some more sales. And I wanted to make sure I had enough stuff for the holiday seasons. Um, that are coming up. America, we do Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Um, Canada, it's Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas. And those are the ones that I get a lot of sales for. But here we don't have to worry so much. We're pretty far away from Canada, so we don't see too many Canadians here in Spokane. I mean, it happens because people travel for different reasons, and so we still see them, but we don't see them anywhere near as much as Bellingham. In Bellingham, it was like most of the cars they saw driving around in town had Canadian license plates. So it'd be like really busy for a town that small, but most people were not locals. I don't know. Canadians used to drive me nuts. They would come down to Bellingham complaining about how bad their economy is, and yet you're not shopping in your country. Yeah, this is kind of the problem. You know, if you want your economy to get better, you need to shop in your country and support your country. I mean, traveling, visiting, yeah, that's cool. You can buy some stuff maybe you can't get in your area, your country for whatever reason, but you know, if you're really gonna come down and complain about the economy, but you're down here like all the time, yeah, you, maybe your spending habits is part of it. So, oh, I'm hoping that I'm getting good sales. I do have like a $44 check coming from last month, so I did actually do pretty good. I mean, it's not the best sales, but hey, I got some money, so that's something. I'm hoping to get a little bit more. I'm getting my Halloween stuff done up, hoping that the getting ready for the sales because there's two sales that I know for sure that are coming up at Famous Joe's, and it's their anniversary sale, which is October 1st and 2nd, and then a pre-Black Friday, which I don't remember the dates on that one, but it's probably I think it's the weekend before Black Friday, and I have my booth set up to 30% off, so if they actually do that, then my stuff will be 30% off on those dates. But then I'm also hoping to get some shoppers other than that date. So yeah, but then if I want to get the shoppers, I have to have things that people might want. So I noticed that the other hanging towel lady's gone, so I need to get some hanging towels up there so people can get hanging towels because they like them. They want them. Um, I don't know if I should put more chickens up there because they're not selling. I think I have them for $10 and they're not selling. Which they're probably worth more than that. But I did this on purpose because for me, I'm gonna crochet no matter what, so not being able to get my hours is fine. But I also want to be able to have it affordable so people can afford to buy things. So the yarns that I use are not the most expensive ones, the and I do try to take into consideration that I can't get my hours. But with the Krakens and the blankets, I do have to make them a little bit more expensive because they use up a lot of yarn and they take up a lot of time. So that's and also the Krakens. That one phase of the Kraken hurts my hands when you attach the tentacles. Yeah, that kind of hurts. Um, but yeah, yeah, my stuff, I'm trying to make it fairly inexpensive so that people can afford to. And then if you've got crafters that are like rushing for holiday booths and they can't keep up with it, then they can maybe come and get some of my stuff and then up the price. Because I'm totally cool with resale. um, so that's a thing. But I don't know what's going on with that. So, or I don't know what's going to be happening with that, especially with the economy being very questionable globally. Hopefully, we can figure it out. I could tell people the best things to stay calm, make sure you're paying your bills first, like your rent, your lights, your water, whatever bills that you have related to keeping your home, and then make sure you've got food and clothing, and like your kids are taken care of. And then we do something called seeding the economy. If you can afford to, after paying your bills and taking care of your responsibilities and even putting a little bit aside for emergencies, then you go and you buy things, the little things, that go to the shops you like to go to and you buy something, and go to a restaurant you like to eat at, if you can afford to. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping that everything works out. Um, but we are definitely going into some sketchy times. There's no guarantee that certain things are going to happen. There's no guarantee that they're not. We just got to be prepared and we got to take care of ourselves. We got to prioritize what's important. A family is very important, but you also got to not overdo it. You can't be like, you got to make sure that you're stable before you can stabilize somebody else. So you might not be able to help out your extended family as much as you want, but hey, It's gonna, you just do the best that you can. Focus on what you need to. We're not alone in this. If this is something that's happened before, um, like I said, there's no guarantees that it's gonna get as bad as it did back in the 30s. There's no guarantee that we're actually going into a depression, so we can't panic. But we do need to be aware. We do need to be aware that there's global issues happening that are contributing to economic issues. So we got to be careful and we got to be calm and we got to think. Um, I know that last part's hard for some people, but yeah, um, we just got to be calm and think and maybe do our own gardens and stuff like that if people are really concerned about food chains, because I haven't really noticed any real issues in the food chain except they can't get something sometimes. But I don't know what it's like in other areas because I'm not there. So yeah, just be calm, do the smart thing. Like I said, make sure you're stabilizing your household before you do the extra things. Having a garden's a good idea. Picking up a hobby is a good idea if you have the money and time. Buying gifts throughout the year for holidays so that you can make sure you can get everybody things for everybody, especially if you're from a big family. Those are just some really good ideas. Um, Disabled people, doing craft fairs and flea markets, babysitting, stuff like that. Good ideas. It's just really hard to get a job these days at all. So yeah, so I want to be supportive. I want this to be like a good community for people with disabilities. And I want this to be a place where we're not attacking each other. We're just trying to be understanding. And um, because I know I'm not the only one on the planet that's going through things that I'm going through. And some of the issues I'm having aren't even just like related to fibro. There's a lot of other conditions that can present in the same way that I'm having issues. It's just like those difference. I was going to talk about crossover with mental health issues. There's crossover with the physical disabilities as well. So yeah, we need to be able to be able to talk to each other about good ways of being healthier and maybe even the difference between fat shaming and becoming health conscious. Because I think some people don't know that. But I don't know if that's a US thing or if it's a global thing, but yeah. But anyway, if people want to talk about that, I don't know I'm not really sure what direction to take this in. Though I will mention that I have noticed that my injury brought in a lot of attention, and I am going to say that I'm not going to deliberately hurt myself in order to get attention. So this wasn't even a deliberate thing with the injury. I just had a moment, a little spazzy moment, and I got hurt, and that happens sometimes. I'm actually surprised that it hasn't happened more, because of how bad things seem to be getting at this point with my neuros and everything. You know, I'm getting older. I've had a few head injuries. Um, my my neurals have never been right. My metabolic system's never worked right, and my immune system's never really worked right. So there's a lot of stuff going on with me. So I will have issues. I will get sick. I will get hurt, but I'm not gonna do it on purpose. but but this does open the door. We can have conversations about appropriate, healthy care for when you guys get injured, things that you can do, maybe ideas that other people have done when they've had these issues. Um, cause my system is really picky and particular, so I can't do a lot of the stuff that other people say to do. Like, for example, a lot of people are telling me to smoke marijuana. I'm allergic to it. Yeah, that's not gonna work. But for a lot of people, marijuana is very helpful with pain management, especially with chronic pain and anxiety. But you gotta be careful because marijuana can cause anxiety. So, I'm not a real drug pusher, so I don't really know a lot of the specifics, but I know there are people out there that know more about this than I do because they're not allergic. But yeah, I'm doing my stuff as drug free as possible because I am concerned about being an addict. My system is very sensitive and there are a lot of addicts in my family. So I don't want to become one myself. So I'm a very drug-free as much as possible person, but so and I'm also open to conversations about things to do um to just make yourself feel better. Um so let's get healthy as we can and do the best that we can for as long as we can, because that's really what it's about, being as good as people as we can, as healthy a people as we can. And this is like a global family. This is the way that things are. We can actually be like a global community, a global family, and we can just care about each other. So, having said that, I'm noticing I'm going a little long for me. So, I'm gonna pop off and get some stuff done, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Like I said, I can do lives when I get more subscribers, but I think I need a lot more subscribers than I have, and I don't really know how to do that. And I guess that's up to you guys. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.